The South Carolina Gamecocks opened the season tonight with a very impressive 35-14 win over Georgia State, but it was not as easy as people thought it was going to be tonight. Georgia State came in very fired up with the game. It was the return of Sean Elliott, who served as an assistant coach at South Carolina for several years here, and even was the interim coach the remainder of the season when Steve Spurrier resigned in the middle of the year, and has family ties living here in the state of South Carolina. A lot of players on their rosters are from South Carolina. So again, this was a foe that came in that was well aware of the Gamecocks and were very well coached and ready to play tonight, though. The Gamecocks came out with the debut of Spencer Rattler at quarterback, and a lot of hype and a lot of excitement going into the season. A lot of renovations were done to the stadium during the offseason, including lights and numerous things throughout the stadium. So it was an exciting night. Great atmosphere at Williams-Brice Stadium. South Carolina offense was a little bit sluggish in the first half and were only able to put 12 points on the board and led by the score of 12-7 at the half. 2 field goals by Mitch Jeter, the new kicker this year, who's taken over for Parker White, was 2 for 2 on his field goals of 53 and 51 yards. And I think that's the first time ever a Gamecock has kicked 2 50-plus yard field goals in one game. The turning point of the game was on South Carolina's first possession of the second half. Ball goes through one of the intended receiver's hands for the Gamecocks, and Georgia State intercepts deep in Gamecock territory. From there, they were able to take the ball into the end zone on several plays to take the first lead of the night at 14-12, and the stadium got deadly silent at that time. The party stopped temporarily, but the Gamecocks got the ball back on the following possession, drove down the field, were able to get a touchdown by Marshawn Lloyd receiving. He had 1 rushing and 1 receiving touchdown tonight, and South Carolina took the lead with the 2-point conversion added by Spencer Rattler. And then South Carolina did something which is typical of Beamer ball. South Carolina blocked 2 punts and returned them for touchdowns in the same game. So again, this was a game, if you like special teams, South Carolina special teams, and Beamer ball version 2 was great tonight with 2 50-plus yard field goals. There was a 79-yard punt by Gamecock punter, which swung the field earlier in the game, and then to block 2 punts and to take the ball into the end zone after that. South Carolina had a total victory win to pick up their first win of the season, though. After the game, Sean Beamer said there's still a lot of work to be done, that there were some areas that South Carolina's rushing game, and again, you got to credit Georgia State, held South Carolina to only 79 yards rushing. Now, Georgia State's got 8 starters back from last year's team that won 8 games, went 8-5, and was one of the hotter teams in the country finishing out the season last year. A good debut for Spencer Rattler, with the exception of 2 interceptions. One wasn't really his fault. The receiver had it go through his hands. The other one, he said, I wish I had that throw back. I could have run for the first down, but he was trying to make the play. But Spencer Rattler threw for over 200 yards tonight and showed great athleticism in the backfield. Was able to extend numerous plays and made 1 long pass to Jalen Brooks that set up a South Carolina score there. But the Spencer Rattler era has begun in Columbia. The Gamecocks got the win, and now they're off next week to take on the Arkansas Razorbacks on the road, though. South Carolina had a great evening, and it was, if you are a fan of special type things with lights, music, it was even funny that Shane Beamer had told the players in advance warning them, don't get caught up with the flashing lights, the music, the ribbons going around the stadium, the ribbon lights and everything like that. And on the very first special play, one of the true freshmen was watching the lights when he was supposed to be on the field, and they had to rush him out there. So it was a great environment tonight, a lot of fun. It made it fun to come to the Gamecock games. You know me and how I used to love to turn out the lights when I was a basketball coach and we projected starters up. Hey, I was in heaven tonight watching all the special effects here at Williams-Brice Stadium. The bottom line is South Carolina goes to 1-1. It may not have been pretty at times, but it's a win, and Shane Beamer said that we're going to celebrate the win, we're going to enjoy it and celebrate the heck out of it tonight, and we'll go back and correct the mistakes next week before we play our first SEC game. Reporting for Lindy Sports and Cox Sports Broadcasting, I am the coach, Dick Cox.